Every year in the NFL, it's a new team. As far as goals go, we have one. Putting a f***ing ring on our finger.
Welcome to the Buccaneers Observer Podcast. This is Ralph Phillips.
Molly Bay.
Today is September,
October 1st.
October 1st. Yeah, here we go. October 1st. Halloween's on the rise. We got a good game coming up Sunday. We're going to talk about that. What we saw with the Chargers. We watched 2 of their 3 games. Mm-hmm. We didn't watch one with Tyrod Taylor because he's not playing.
Why bother?
Yeah, why bother?
It's pointless.
And we've got some film breakdown of the last game against the Denver Broncos. Finally got that video out. Now, I did it in 3 parts. It was a half hour all total. And I've gotten some people requested that I break it up into smaller bites because a half hour is a lot to consume in one time. So I went ahead and did that, and I've been trying to do it this year to do, little 10, 15-minute videos instead of the whole thing. Let me know if y'all guys like that. If that's something you're good with. So anyhow, it's out on YouTube. Go check it out. Things I found interesting. Some good stuff in there. I liked it. It's funny because I started off and I'm watching this game film. This happens a lot because game film is kind of boring. You don't have the crowd noise. You don't have any noise. And it's not that dramatic angle where you're just a bunch of guys and balls flying and people flying. It's everything's spaced out, and it's a lot of nothing happens. There'll be a lot of nothing happening all over the field, and one spot there will be something happening, and generally it's a guy running 4 feet and then getting tackled.
Right.
Yeah.
For me, it's the noise. I have a hard time following it. It keeping my attention.
I like to listen to music while I do it because after it takes about 8-10 hours to do these. To go through the game film, and if I just sit there with no sound, I'll be crazy after a while. But watching this, and this happens all the time doing these, I'll cut the clips as I'm watching it, and I'll be thinking, wow, this game's kind of boring. And then I'll go back and I'll put all the clips together and then watch all the clips, and I go, wow, that game was exciting. There was a lot of good stuff in it, But because it's like 1 out of every 6 or 7 plays, there's something interesting worth mentioning. So you end up, get a lot of
slugging through it. Yep. So, what do you want to talk about first, Molly? I have some news from the week.
News. I forgot about the news.
Yeah, I do have some news today.
Okay. Lay it on us.
Okay. Greg Allman reports that safety Antoine Winfield is second among NFL rookies with 2 sacks. He's behind Chase Young, who is 2.5. He leads all rookies with 3 quarterback hits and is tied for second for tackles among all the rookies.
Really?
And he was named Defensive Rookie of the Month.
Yeah, that's a big thing as well, and I'm probably going to jump in this and squish your news here, but Levante David got NFC Defensive Player of the Month, right?
Right, yep, and he had 24 tackles, 2 TFLs, an interception, quarterback hit, forced fumble, and fumble recovery.
Yeah, it's just another.
Carmen Vitale pulled all those stats.
Yeah, that's just another quarter for Levante David. I mean, he's been doing this for, 9 years?
I can't even remember. 8?
Yeah, long time.
And then Shaq Barrett was named NFC Defensive Player of the Week. So we had 3 Buccaneers on the defense.
Boom!
Recognized.
Now, we want credit for this because we said it. We said it all off season coming that our defense was going to surprise everybody, that it was going to be as good, if not better, than our offense. So, bam. There you go.
There we go.
Start taking my advice for stock. Whatever. If you want to win, baby, listen to us.
Yeah. Our offensive line, Pro Football Focus has it ranked number 5.
Really?
They do.
I'm starting to really like Pro Football Focus.
Your opinion's changed on that one.
Stats-wise and everything, the Pro Football Outsiders, who has a really good, they know all this DVOA stuff, and they seem to really work hard at trying to be as scientific with their crap as they can. They have us listed as 8th.
Okay. Well, still, you said top 10. So.
Oh, yeah, and the season isn't even over.
Yeah.
I mean, we're just now getting to mesh. So, yeah, I think we'll be top 5 offensive line. Definitely top 10.
Well, we're there per Pro Football Focus.
I love that Pro Football Focus. Going to get my subscription so I can know what rankings are what.
Right. Ian Rappaport is reporting that Chris Godwin's MRI revealed a hamstring strain, and he will be out against the Chargers and probably Thursday Night Football against the Bears.
Oh, we've got... Oh, my gosh. Yeah, it's the Chargers and the Bears.
Yeah.
Okay, man. We're going to beat the mess out of the Bears. That's going to be fun to watch.
Yeah, hope so.
Thursday night. It's at Bears, too. 8:20 p.m.
Should be fun.
Yes.
Embarrassing them at home on Thursday Night Football.
Yep. They did it to us many a times.
Dan Graziano of ESPN reported about the COVID in Tennessee. That one's crazy. So I pulled this Wednesday that there was an additional positive test, no positives in Minnesota in Tuesday's round of testing. And then the league, they have those like contact tracers that everyone wears, found there were no close contacts with the Titans player whose test came back positive, which says their isolation procedures are working. Tom Pelissero is reporting that no one from Minnesota tested positive, so they are resuming activities. They opened the facility. They were having practice. But the NFL did postpone the Tennessee-Pittsburgh game from Sunday.
Did they give an explanation why they did that? Is it just because the Tennessee guys tested positive?
Well, and then today there was another player that tested positive and a staff member. So I think they're just trying to keep it isolated to the Titans and not spread it to Pittsburgh.
She's over there doing hand movements. You can't see it. She's got it down under her desk. She's
you know what I'm saying?
Doing this. Yes.
So no word on when it's going to be rescheduled. It'll be later in the season. It's kind of tricky because, we don't know if Tennessee and Pittsburgh, their bye weeks line up. I doubt it, but that would be ideal, but probably unlikely. So who knows how the league is going to do it. But I'm really surprised. We're 4 weeks into the season. It's the first that's happened.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't go through training camp,
Yes.
And you have to wonder, is it they're only positive? Yeah, they don't have symptoms. They only know that they have it because they got tested.
Yep.
I don't know.
Yep.
Per Greg Auman, offensive holding penalties are down across the league.
That's funny. I was just getting ready to talk about that.
Okay.
Scoring's up 5.4 points per game, and everybody's saying, well, it's because the officiating is being done a lot differently. Mainly, they're not calling offensive holding. I wish they would have told us that week 1 instead of the Saints.
Yeah, so I have Rob Pizzola, who is a sports bettor on Twitter. He calculated the averages from 2016 to 2019 of the different penalties that were called and how frequently they were called. So, for instance, in 2019, the total number of penalties per game was 13.48. And in 2020, the average is 11.8. So down almost 2 penalties a game.
Yeah.
The offensive holding, which I thought you would appreciate this since you were complaining about that week 1 with the Saints. That one is down. So in 2019, they were calling 2.28 a game. Now they're calling 1.34 a game. So almost one
half.
less. Yeah. And I mean, they're down like across the board. Defensive holding, it was 1.48 in 2019. Now they're calling 0.86.
Not even one per game.
Yeah, not even one per game. Illegal contact is up, though. It was 0.14 in 2019, 0.28 now in 2020.
Illegal contact.
And defensive pass interference, that's up, too. But
the holding's a big one. It really screwed us in the Saints game.
Yeah. It would have been nice to know when the season started.
Yeah, that's how I feel. I feel like the referees told the Saints, said, hey, we're not going to call holding this game. And then they didn't tell the Buccaneers.
So do what you want.
Yeah. It's like definitely an advantage to the Saints.
Yeah. The Buccaneers signed wide receiver Isaac Whitney to the practice squad. And, of course, that was because Daniel Helm, the tight end, was scooped up from the practice squad by the 49ers. So we had an open spot. Whitney came into the league in 2017 as an undrafted free agent, and he signed with the Raiders. He played 2 games in 2017 and then spent time on the practice squad. So it was he kind of fluctuated between active roster and practice squad. And then in 2018, he went through Raiders camp, got cut, and then spent the remainder of the season on the Texans practice squad. 2019, he went on IR with the Texans, and then in 2020, he went through the Texans camp, got cut after training camp, and here he is with the Buccaneers now. He adds us some options since Justin Watson had an injury and Chris Godwin suffered an injury. So who would have thought of all the positions we would need more depth at wide receiver?
I know.
But it's like, I mean, we're hurting.
We talked about that like all off season.
I know how
like,
stacked we are.
Yeah, we're good at wide receiver. We don't need anybody else.
Yeah.
I felt like we had to get rid of some good wide receivers.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, now we're trying to fill out the practice squad just in case.
Yep.
So that wraps it up for the news.
Okay, let's get to some game film.
Cool.
We are kind of trying to get through this podcast. I tell you, it's been a hectic week for us, and like I said, we got a funeral this weekend, so we got to travel. Going to be in Tampa, so you know, we're kind of behind schedule on everything. It seems like everything,
and still have a million more things to do.
Yeah. All right, so this was an interesting game to say the least. One thing I want to do, I want to give hats off to Denver. They never stopped playing hard. Even when they were down in the fourth quarter with a couple minutes left, the game was out. They were still playing hard. And I like to see that. You know, you didn't see guys not trying to tackle and, you know, kind of just moseying about the field and stuff. No, those guys were playing hard. So, you know, gotta hand it to Denver for that. Driscoll is not the quarterback of the future. I could say that for Denver. There was one play. I had to point this out on the things I found interesting video, but he's running and Barrett's chasing him, of course. That was kind of the theme for the night.
Yeah.
And he goes to throw the ball. I sort of got, he kind of reminded me a lot of James Winston. He goes to throw the ball. He's running out like on a bootleg, but Barrett's right behind him. And he goes to throw the ball, and it just like falls out of his hand. I don't know what happened. It's like he squeezed it too hard. It just kind of popped out and landed like 3 yards in front of him.
No.
It was hilarious. But the funny part of it is as soon as he did it, he turned and looked at his hand. And then this is even before the ball hit the ground.
No.
He turns and looks at his hand, and he keeps, as he's running and stops, he's just like staring at his hand, like he has no idea. You know, it's like it's a foreign body or something. It was very strange. It was funny as all get out. There was a lot of
so
funny
weird.
stuff. Yeah, a lot of funny stuff. One thing, I want to bring this up. I don't like the cornerbacks, the outside cornerbacks. They're playing off a little too much for me. Jamal Dean does it. They're doing that 8-10 yards, playing off the receivers.
Mm-hmm.
We had that issue with Mike Smith when he was the defensive coordinator here. It doesn't seem to be that big of a problem, an issue, really, but I just don't like it. I don't like it. It freaks me out. It makes it too easy for these guys to run these inside slants and catch a pass for 6 yards every time.
When you don't need to give them that yardage.
You don't need to give them anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Donovan Smith played great.
Okay.
Great.
I'm so glad to hear that.
I am too.
Didn't he give up a sack?
He gave up 1 sack, but I'm gonna put an asterisk beside that. It wasn't necessarily his fault. Now, I mean, he's getting paid big money. He should be doing elite level stuff. Ali Marpet was blocking the guy and then passed him off to Donovan, and Donovan wasn't ready. Donovan was actually looking at another guy that was.
Oh, no.
Rob Gronkowski chip blocked a guy to the outside, and so Donovan was waiting for that guy to rush in after Gronkowski went out for a route. So he was kind of staring at that guy, and Ali Marpet passes this guy over to Donovan, and kind of out of the corner of his eyes, Donovan saw the guy coming and put a shoulder into the guy's chest, but it wasn't enough, and he ended up getting between the two of them and sacking the quarterback. So, it wasn't it really wasn't 100% Donovan's fault. I mean, he should be elite enough to be able to handle something like that, but it was just one of those things. But also, on that sack, Tom Brady had 3.5 seconds in pocket.
Oh,
so
well,
that's a long time for any NFL quarterback. For Tom Brady, that's a super long time.
Well, I bet our offensive linemen are pretty conditioned to 4 seconds, 5 seconds.
Yeah,
after blocking for Jameis for so long.
Yeah, they're getting a lot of downtime because he's getting that ball out so quick. They're not having to do a whole lot.
Yeah.
Shaq Barrett, he deserves all the praise he's gotten. He was the most highlighted guy I had on my sheet.
Heck yeah.
He was just popping up everywhere.
Oh,
just doing good stuff.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, two sacks and a safety.
Yeah, and he didn't seem to be on the field as much. I didn't look at the snap counts. I meant to do that before we did the podcast. But he was back in coverage a lot. He actually had 4 plays in a row where they put him back in coverage. So, you know what that's saying? I mean, when you're putting a guy, he's not on the field all the time. I mean, what's he getting? 80% of the snaps? Somewhere around there. I think last time we looked, it was about 80. And then 25% of those in the passing plays are him dropping back in coverage. And he's still getting all this. I mean, he's still getting to the quarterback on passing plays. We have a superstar. But he dropped back in coverage. They did a lot of funky stuff on defense, man. Matter of fact, Greg Allman even asked both Bruce Arians and Todd Bowles. About our defense. How, what he asked Todd Bowles, what do you call these defenses? And Todd Bowles just started laughing. He was just like, well, I'll have to talk to you off the record about that because I don't want to give away too much information.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But yeah, these defenses
couldn't even say what they were called.
Nah.
That's crazy.
He said, what do you name them or what do you call them or something? I can't remember. But they are just insane. I highlighted one in the things I found interesting video where they had 6 guys lined up to rush. We only ended up rushing 4. And it was only 2 of those 6 guys on the line rushed. The whole middle, Vita Vea, Ndamukong Suh. Let me see. Here was the defensive line. It was Vita Vea, Ndamukong Suh, O'Connor, and I think Goldston. Can't remember. And then Devin White and Levante David were up on the line too. Like they were going to rush, right? The ball snapped. Levante David and Devin White dropped back into coverage. The two guys on the edge, O'Connor and Golston, no, that was JPP. They rush in. Ndamukong Suh and Vita Vea rush in. And then right before they make contact with the offensive line, they turn around and drop back into coverage. What? Winfield and, oh gosh, who was it? Maybe it was Whitehead. I can't remember. They come blitzing in from the outside. And O'Connor and Winfield met at the quarterback. It was a great play. Totally confused everybody. Nobody knew what was going on. Oh, that was Levante David's interception, the ugly interception.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, I mean, they just, like every play, it's just weird coverages, disguises, and looks that you're just like, what are they doing? So Driscoll had a hard time with it, as we saw. And we're going to talk about the Chargers quarterback. He's going to have a hard time with it, too. But on that play, that was the ugly interception by Levante David. It's so funny. Shaq Barrett was mic'd up for this game, and he even talked about, he ran over to Levante David, and he was like, couldn't you catch that ball a little prettier? It was the ugliest. I mean, he like cradled it in the air.
It was so weird. I mean, he caught it with his body and all four of his limbs.
But here's something, I didn't even notice this on the game, on the broadcast version. He got up and ran the wrong way.
Yeah, I know. He lost like 10 yards on that.
Did you notice that?
Yeah.
I didn't notice it.
It's on the stat sheet. He had like -5 yards.
Yeah, he got up and
You're
ran
like,
the wrong
what are
way.
you doing?
He's lucky he got tackled.
I know.
Because he probably would have scored a touchdown for the other team. I was cracking up. But yeah, our defense is insane. It's insane. We're good. Our secondary is just amazingly good. We haven't made a mistake yet, I don't think.
That is so crazy. I mean,
crazy.
most of these guys are second year, first year.
Yeah. And that Winfield, oh my gosh, he's another
ridiculous.
superstar. Yeah. I counted, I want to say 4 times that he rushed in. And I mean, he is fast. He's fast. He comes from way off screen and he gets to the quarterback in like 2 seconds. I mean, just blazing. But he comes running in, and if he feels like he can't get to the quarterback, if the quarterback starts to wind up the throw, he leaps in the air, and he's got a vertical.
Really?
And I think I counted 4 times where he did that and came so close, but one time he got it and just smacked that ball right out of there. I was like, whoa, you go, boy. And one time he put a juke on Melvin Gordon, the running back. He come running in, and Melvin Gordon's like, oh, okay, I got this guy. He's small and everything. And Melvin Gordon's like going to block him. And Winfield totally jukes him out and runs right, untouched, runs right to the quarterback.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, it was like Melvin Gordon was just standing there. He was like, what happened to that guy? Where'd he go? But I mean, it was a neat little, he like jumped to the outside and then shot to the inside and just untouched.
He is just unbelievable. And what a steal.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, we got him in the second round.
And Jason Light, you have built a monster team. I'm sorry. Sorry to all you Jason Light haters.
Get a kicker for shit. But I think all is forgiven.
Yeah. But back to Donovan Smith. He played well. He, matter of fact, Tristan Morris was the worst playing offensive lineman.
Yeah, that sucks.
He didn't play horrible, but
Yeah.
as far as the most mistakes, it would be Tristan Morris. But Donovan Smith played really well. That was the only mistake I saw him make, was that sack. And he was actually attacking the defenders, which is very, very rare. Yeah. Instead of waiting for them to come to him, he was going to them and hitting them. He actually got a pancake.
Oh, he did?
I was like, whoa.
I love a good pancake.
Donovan, yeah. That's so rare for him. And it was on Chubb.
Really?
Yeah. He mainly went up against Chubb, Anthony Chickalo, and 97 Atachu. Those are the guys that Donovan Smith handled. So our offensive line did pretty well. Jensen had a couple of good Jensen plays,
Did he punch anybody?
No, he didn't punch anybody, but he did tackle a guy.
Okay.
It was fun. He's didn't have anybody to block, so he starts off helping Marpet, and he sees not Marpet, the Kappa, and he sees Marpet with a guy, so he runs over to Marpet to help him block. And right before he gets there, he realizes, oh, Mel Marpet's got this guy. So he turns back around, and he's about, I don't know, 10 feet away from Kappa and his guy that he's blocking. So he just ramps it up and runs straight at that guy, takes him right to the ground. It was great. It's like,
He didn't know when to hit him, probably.
yeah, it's like, here, Kappa, let me help you out. And there was another time. Who was it? Gosh. Anyhow, somebody caught the ball, and they landed on the ground. And it was about a 15-yard pass from the line of scrimmage. And it was in the center of the field. And whoever caught it, I want to say it was Godwin or whatever, he falls down and nobody touches him. So he gets back up. And about the time he's getting back up.
Jensen was right behind him, like carrying him or something, wasn't it?
No, that was
a different play.
Yeah, I think that was last week.
I don't know.
Might have been this week. I can't remember. But now, anyhow, Jensen is about 10, 15 yards away at the line of scrimmage. And he sees this guy getting up, and he realizes, oh, nobody touched him. So Jensen, full bore, just runs down the field and hits the first guy that tries to tackle that. It was funny. He didn't really blow up the pile like I thought he was going to. I mean, he was just hauling butt. He was like, I'm going to knock somebody out. Kappa did all right, but our offensive line did good. But then again, it's Denver's defensive line.
Yeah, they don't really have a pass rush.
Yeah, Chubb's pretty good. He worked Wirfs a little bit. My most disappointing player, and I'm going to say this, and I hate saying this, is Vita Vea. Now, he didn't play bad. Again, this whole year, he's not played bad, but he's just not playing the way I have seen him play.
You want him to be more explosive.
Aggressive. And now he has some good plays where he just pushed, bull rush guys back. He split a double team one time, got to the quarterback. I mean, he had some good plays, but, Vita, I'm used to watching him every play just give guys fits and literally throwing guys around. He hasn't done that at all this year. He hasn't thrown
really?
anybody.
Oh, the ragdoll?
Yeah.
Has he been ragdolling people?
He has not ragdolled anybody. And I don't know if he's saving his energy for, or, he's working into. I don't know what's going on with him. Or maybe they're coaching him a different way.
Yeah.
I do not know. Run blocking needs to improve with the offensive line. We're just not getting enough push with that. Tight ends played okay.
Yeah, they had a good game.
Yeah, we saw them do a lot of catching, but that Gronkowski really helps a lot with our blocking. He's by far the best blocking tight end we have. The defensive line, to me, I think they need more oomph. Like I said, they're just not playing with that energy they played with last year. But I mean, they're doing good. They really brought it in the fourth quarter when we knew they were passing like every down.
Yeah.
I mean, we were bringing the heat. The secondary is just elite.
That is so crazy. They're so young.
I know. I think Mike Edwards is the oldest at 24.
Really?
Yeah.
And Carlton, he's like the veteran.
Maybe
Carlton
Davis. Carlton Davis. Yeah. He had a great read and an open field tackle. He played great. That interception by Edwards was just unbelievable. But on that play, my favorite part about that play was he intercepts the ball, one-handed catch. It was beautiful, beautiful catch. I mean, it was a high-level elite receiver catch, and he's a defensive guy.
Yeah.
One-handed catches that ball. He's in the end zone where he decides, I'm going to run it out, right? Well, as soon as he does that, the whole defense goes, oh, shit, we got a block. Devontae David is standing beside 61, who outweighs him by like 100 pounds.
Yeah, offensive lineman.
Yeah.
Wow.
Devontae David, I mean, he tried blocking that guy, but Devontae David put a shoulder in his chest, got a run and start, and hit him right in the chest and basically just bounced right off the guy. And the guy, he ended up making the tackle.
Oh, no.
And you see David going, oh, man.
At least he tried. He liked the effort.
Yeah. The play where Godwin scored the touchdown, that was a busted play on their part. Their defense was totally confused. 3 of them covered Gronk. and left Godwin
Why?
wide open. Yeah. Well, they're sitting there talking to each other. The whole secondary, there was three guys in a triangle on the left side, 3 guys in a triangle on the right side, and the 2 guys up front were turned around talking to the guy in the back when we snapped the ball on both sides of the field. They were totally unprepared. So then we snapped the ball. They have to turn around. They're like, "Oh crap, there's people coming at us." And one of them was Rob Gronkowski. So they all decided, "Hey, we need to cover this guy." So they all 3 did. And Godwin was just wide open. What's his name? 98 O'Connor.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, he's
79. No,
That's 98, right?
that might be Anthony Nelson.
Oh man, I can't remember. Anyhow, he had that blocked punt. That was a good one. Blocked it.
No,
and
that
recovered.
was O'Connor.
Yeah, that was O'Connor. I can't remember his number though. 98
I
or
it's 79 or 97. Dyslexic.
okay.
Anyway, that was O'Connor.
The refs didn't do too bad of a job. There was an intentional grounding by Driscoll that they should have called, but they didn't. I don't know how they didn't. He was way outside the pocket. He threw the ball. It landed 5 yards out of bounds. There was nobody around, and it didn't even come close to passing the line of scrimmage. I get so aggravated with those.
I know. They're just so inconsistent with it.
They really are. There was also a play, one of the big plays, it was a 3rd and 20. This was in the second quarter. It was 1 minute and 56 seconds left. It was 23-3 at this point. And 81 Patrick ends up catching a long pass up the middle. And, I was like, I remember watching the game and I was like, how did he get that open? And I remember seeing Winfield on the ground. And I was like, what happened to it? Did he trip? Did he fall down? No. Patrick ran over top of him. I mean, Winfield's backing up, right? He's backing up
Wait,
downfield.
He got bowled over?
Yeah. Well, he didn't see the guy coming.
Oh, no.
The guy hit him from behind and knocked him over.
How's that not a block in the back?
Exactly. A block in the back, pass interference, offensive pass, a whole crap load of penalties. But no, he gets to catch the ball and get a first down.
So did he hit Winfield before he hit the ball or after?
Before.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, he's running, and Winfield's backing up to go into coverage, and Patrick, number 81, turns his route inside, and Winfield happens to be in his way, so he just runs right over top of him and then catches the ball right as soon as he runs over top of him. It's like, oh, well. JPP had a good game. Marpet got beat once. Donovan Smith had a false start that wasn't called. It was the funniest damn thing. Because you see him, he moves, and he's a big guy. So he like moves and he's like leaning and he can't stop himself from leaning. It's like he realized, so he's trying not to move. When you see him, he's like falling. Yeah, it's a very slow, like statue toppling over. And
I know how he feels because I'm super clumsy like that. Like sometimes I'm just walking and I fall over.
Yes,
for no reason.
You're like a child, almost like an infant with your walking, your clumsiness. But then he decides to go. He's like, "Oh heck, I know they're getting ready to snap it, so I'm just gonna." And so he moves, and he moves quite a bit before the ball snapped. I don't know how they missed that. I even mentioned it to you when we were watching the game. I was like, "Hey, Donovan Smith false started there." But I'll take it. Give us there was a call on Adams, number 26, for a block in the back.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
It was complete bullshit. He hits the guy in the shoulder pad. I was
that
mad
one's
about
so ticky tacky, especially on like kickoffs and punts. Because you can't help. I mean, most of the time you're either beside somebody or right behind them.
Right. So then the refs, I guess, decided to have sympathy on us, and there was a 81 Patrick, the receiver. I think he might be a tight end. 81. I think he's a receiver. Anyhow, he gets called for holding against 33 Whitehead, and it was not holding at all. I mean, he knocked Whitehead down.
Oh, really?
But Whitehead didn't see him coming, and he hit him from the side and got him right in the shoulder pad.
See, like, how is that not a block in the back if they're going to call the other nonsense?
Yeah, well, you know, they called him for holding, but there was no. I don't even think the guy even used his hands. He just slammed into Whitehead and knocked him on the ground. It you know, out of the corner of your eye, you think, oh, that guy went down pretty hard. They had to have pulled him down or something, but we had a couple times where Vita Vea and Nabokong Su went back into coverage. One time they went back into coverage, and they were covering the middle of the field, and right between them was a wide open wide receiver for the Denver Broncos, and Driscoll didn't see him. Well, he was getting pressured, but I mean the guy was wide open, standing right between these two big defensive linemen.
There's
who were
no way they were going to catch him.
Yeah, or there was no way they were going to stop the pass
Yeah.
either. It would have been like, the guy would have been gone. But luckily, we kept constant pressure on Driscoll. Sue got a great decleater on Driscoll at one time. I mean, and he hit him. He like pushed him and kind of with his forearm. But it's a really, I'd like to have it almost as like a picture in the background, you know, get it blowed up. I'd like to see if we could find it, you know, see if one of the photographers got it. But it's like Sue comes around on a twist with Devin White. Devin White actually runs into his blocker, and Sue comes around, and it's wide open. There's nothing between the line of scrimmage and Driscoll.
Oh, no.
And Sue is just running full steam
Oh,
right
my
at
God.
him. And I'd want to see Driscoll's face because it's got to be one of the scariest things in the world. And sure enough, Driscoll gets the ball off right before Sue hits him, and Sue hits him. And Driscoll left his feet, landed. He went feet up. He was decleated. So.
But he got the ball off?
Yeah, he got the ball off. It was a bad pass, though. It didn't.
And how is that not a late hit? I'm surprised they didn't call that for.
It was like right at the same time.
Okay.
He hit him, and it caused an errant pass.
Oh, gotcha.
There was also another illegal use of hands call. Again, I mean, I can't remember who it was, but that was BS. I mean, I looked at it from every angle I could find. There was no foul in that play. I don't know what they were thinking. The 92 Golston, you know, he got called for roughing the passer on that one play. It was a great play. Great. I mean, maybe you could say he put his weight on the guy. I don't know, but you know, it's like even the announcers were like, "Come on."
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a great hit. Somebody else was called for holding on that play too, but neither one of them were good. And then there was a hands to the face on Ryan Jensen. This was actually at 3:01 in the fourth quarter. I mean, 28-10, but 98, I think it was, just pulled Jensen's head, or pushed Jensen's head all the way back by his face mask. That wasn't called either. But other than that, you know, refs did okay. I'll give them a C. It's hard for me to give them anything higher than C. Brady was more inaccurate in this game than I think I've ever seen him.
Oh.
Yeah, he had like 4 or 5 bad passes. You know, and they weren't, you know, bad routes. They were just not good passes. But not like bad passes, you know, but just enough to where you're like, that's not perfectly on target like you're like used to seeing with Brady.
Yeah.
I think that's about it. I mean, I could talk about this game forever. There was so much good stuff, and it. I mean, if you look at my sheet, man, it's like, you know, just the good stuff far outweighed the bad stuff.
Yay.
I mean, normally you're happy if it's 51% good stuff to 49% bad stuff. But this was like 80-20. I mean, we were killing it all over the field. Yeah.
Do you think it was just quality of the opponent?
Yeah, I think that had a lot to do with it. But I think it's also we're gelling and, you know, getting used to playing. You know, this defense is so dang complicated. I mean, these guys, you got to hand it to them to be able to play this defense one and not make mistakes. I mean, it's rare. I think in 3 games, I've maybe seen 3 mistakes.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and that's maybe. I'll go, I'm not sure if that was a mistake or, somebody tripped or whatever, but.
Thank God for consistency with our team.
I know, it's nice, especially on defense.
Yeah.
It's been so long.
And the fact that you can have Antoine Winfield just step in there and play the way that he's playing.
It's amazing he does not play like a rookie at all. At all. So it's insane. That was such a great find by these guys. Yeah, so the team looks like it's really starting to gel. Offense starting to gel. Defense definitely starting to gel. I think we're going to start seeing the defensive line get more aggressive and more aggressive. I don't know. Todd Bowles, I don't know what's going on with him and Shaq Barrett. I hate to say that, they're trying to keep Shaq Barrett's numbers down a little bit because they don't want to have to pay him $600 million next year, in his contract.
Yeah.
Because we only have him on this 1-year deal. And, so maybe that's why Todd's putting him in coverage a lot. I don't know. The first week we played Kamara. Now, he's a pass catch and running back.
Mm-hmm.
The second week we played CMC, pass catching running back. Shaq Barrett played different in those games than he did in this game. They didn't have, Melvin Gordon's not really a pass catching running back so much. And Shaq Barrett would, in the first 2 games, he would cover the running backs if they went out into the flats to a certain point, and then he would come back and rush the quarterback. It was a very strange thing, and a lot of times he would bump them. He would try to hit them, get them off their routes and everything, and then he would either stay there in coverage in the flats or he would go back towards the quarterback. But he didn't do any of that this time. All of his dropbacks were straight back. So they're playing him weird. They're playing him all over the place. They are moving guys around. They'll have JPP in the middle of the line. They'll have the linebackers, Devin White and Levante David. They'll have them on the outside, on the inside, one on the outside, one on the inside. You never know if they're rushing. You never know if they're going in coverage. We blitzed more this game than we did the first 2 games. And
probably because we knew we'd had a lot of success.
yeah, because of Driscoll.
Yeah.
So, and it worked. It worked.
I wonder with Shaq Barrett if they're just not trying to kind of shake things up because they feel like he's on teams' radars now. Radars?
Yeah.
So they're just trying to be tricky.
Yeah.
That would be my guess.
Yeah. And you'd probably be right. I mean, I'm reading much more into it. But it just seems so weird to me that you have this elite pass rusher and you're putting him back in coverage almost 25% of the time.
Yeah.
20% of the time. Yeah, you're like, I don't know. There's one thing. It's one thing to be tricky. It's another thing to, take one of your best weapons and put it in a drawer, basically.
Yeah.
But hey, it's working. We're winning.
Yeah.
Hey.
The Broncos are playing the Jets right now. They're up 27-16.
That just goes show how bad the Jets are.
I know.
Ugh.
I know.
Ugh.
I don't even care to watch this game. I haven't watched any of it.
One thing I want to say, and then we'll move on to the Chargers game.
Mm-hmm.
At this point in the season, Winston had 10 sacks. Brady's got 5, so half.
Wow.
At this point in the season, Winston had 4 interceptions. Brady has 3. So, yeah, that's not. They both had 1 pick 6 at this point too. So. Brady's definitely cut down on the sacks, as I prognosticated and figured would probably happen because he's just so much better in the pocket.
Yeah.
So anyhow, there's that.
If
you get a chance, all you podcast listeners, go and check out the YouTube videos, things I found interesting. I did it in 3 parts. And let me know if you prefer that
broken up.
Or if you want it all in a package deal, or if you want both. I mean, if I get enough from both sides, I'll break it up into chunks and then do a whole 20 things. Because I know me personally, I could sit down for a half hour and watch,
Yeah.
Bucks videos. But at the same time, a lot of people can't do that or don't want to, and just want to see certain parts, whatever. So let me know. Anyhow, the Chargers. What do you think, Molly?
All right, let's start with the injury report, and then we'll kind of talk about the state of their team. And then you and I can talk about what we saw on the games we watched.
The state of their team is California. L.A.
LA.
It just
Not San Diego.
Yeah, I know. It just hit me as we were watching them. I was
know.
like, they are in L.A.
I still type. I'll still type out San Diego.
Yeah.
I did this working on the preview, and I'm like, ugh. Chargers. Just type Chargers. Because I still have to think about it, too.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait, where are they? So for the injury report on the Bucs side, Leonard Fournette has an ankle injury. He has not practiced all week.
Are you serious?
Uh-huh.
Why didn't you tell me that? I started him on my fantasy football team. I got to... Okay.
Okay, well,
Yeah,
you
I'll put
have
Ronald
you have
Jones
like
in.
3 days to change it.
I'm going to be on vacation. I ain't doing fantasy football. Vacation.
I know. It's a funeral.
It's a funeral.
Chris Godwin, the hamstring, did not practice. No surprise there. Scotty Miller has a hip/groin injury. He has not practiced all week. Get it together, Scotty. Sean Murphy-Bunting has a groin injury. He was limited Wednesday and Thursday. He's practicing, though.
Who was that?
Sean Murphy-Bunting.
Okay.
Remember, he left the game
Mm-hmm.
Sunday. JPP has a knee injury. He was limited Wednesday, did not practice Thursday, but Thursdays are his day off. So I don't know. It's not really an indication of the injury. And then Justin Watson has a shoulder injury. He practiced fully Wednesday and Thursday. So hopefully we'll have him back Sunday. On the Chargers side, it ain't pretty. Defensive end Joey Bosa has a tricep and an ankle injury. He did not practice Wednesday. He was limited Thursday. Tackle Brian Beluga has a back injury. He has not practiced all week. Running back Justin Jackson has a quad injury. He practiced fully Wednesday and Thursday. Safety Rayshon Jenkins has a groin injury. He was limited Wednesday and Thursday. Guard Tyree St. Louis has a concussion. He was limited Wednesday. Participated fully on Thursday. Tyrod Taylor, of course, with the rib/chest injury has not practiced.
Fluid full of painkillers, right?
Yeah.
Or lung full of painkillers.
Yeah. Punctured lung.
Hmm.
Guard Trey Turner has a groin injury. He did not practice Wednesday and Thursday. Linebacker Nick Vigil has a groin injury. He was limited Wednesday, participated fully Thursday. Wide receiver Mike Williams has a hamstring injury. He did not practice Wednesday or Thursday. And then tackle Storm Norton has a knee injury. That is Storm.
That was a cool name.
He practiced Wednesday, but was limited Thursday. So it seems to me like he sustained that injury Wednesday during practice.
Speaking of cool names, is Merciless still in the league? Or Merciless?
I don't know. I
With
want
the
to say he's
Texans?
still with the Texans.
Okay. I love it. That's my favorite football name. Merciless.
So the Chargers are 1-2. Their season, like the Broncos, has kind of been defined by injuries. So the biggest injury is to Tyrod Taylor, who had cracked ribs after week 1. And then week 2, right before the game, they give him a shot so he can go out there and play through the pain of the cracked ribs, and they puncture his lung.
Mm.
So Justin Herbert had to come in, and he started week 2 and 3. We've gotten some good tape on him.
Yeah.
Coach Anthony Lynn has said that Tyrod is going to get the starting job back once he recovers. So they don't want no quarterback controversy.
Poor Sherbert.
Poor Sherbert. So, but then there have been all kinds of other injuries. So, per Ian Rappaport, Chris Harris suffered a foot injury in the Panthers game, and he's going to be out at least a month, possibly 6 weeks. So, they're down 5 starters on defense. So, defensive end Melvin Ingram, defensive tackle Justin Jones, linebacker Drew Tranquil, safety Derwin James, and Chris Harris. The offensive line also lost center Mike Pouncey to IR, and then they've got injuries to Brian Beluga and Trey Turner, like we talked about in the injury report. So the whole team is just beat up.
Unfortunately, not the ones we need to have beat up or beat
It hasn't
up.
really been a detriment. So
Yeah. This is going to be a tough game, guys.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I didn't think so until we watched them, and I was like, ooh, they're a lot better than I thought they were.
Yeah, they almost put the beat down on the Chiefs.
Yeah. Well, in division games are so much different than other games in even the conference or in the league. You always play your division opponents really hard. And the Chiefs game, that was week 2. So this is the game where Herbert learns basically when he's walking out on the field that he's going to be starting. And so they had no time the game plan was not tailored to him. He just kind of got thrown to the wolves, and he was really impressive, I thought.
Yeah.
Especially given the circumstances.
Yes. And, the fact that, Kansas City's defense ain't no slouches.
Right. And it's a division game.
Yeah.
And they're the defending Super Bowl champs.
Right. Yeah, and they don't have a Super Bowl hangover, it appears. They are going full bore ahead.
Yeah,
and
like
they took
look
them
what they did to the Ravens.
Yeah, beat the mess out of the Ravens. But the Chargers took them into overtime.
Yeah.
The Chargers were actually winning that game.
Yeah.
And Kansas City came back and tied them up.
It was like, 17-6?
Yeah.
They were killing them. The Chargers were.
Yeah. And that's the thing. The Chargers are a physical football team.
Yeah.
The running backs, we are going to have to be extremely disciplined. They are heavily the running backs are heavily involved in their game plans.
Yeah, Scott Smith, in his game preview, he said that they have run the ball 47.3% of their offensive snaps. And that's the 7th highest percentage in the NFL.
And Ekeler, number 30, is their main running back. And then they got number 27, Kelly.
And Ekeler is so slippery, and
he's just everything.
Yeah, he's a good pass catching running back. He's shifty. He's fast,
and he's strong.
Yeah,
if you need 2 yards, he'll get you 3.
Yeah,
if it comes down to that. But yeah, he's very elusive. He's shifty. He's fast. He's an all around running back.
Yeah,
I can see why they got rid of Melvin Gordon. And Melvin Gordon ain't no slouch.
Right.
But Ekeler is just that good. And then they got the Kelly guy, who is kind of their change of pace guy. He's more of a speedster. He kind of reminds me of R27, Ronald Jones. He doesn't have as great ball control as Ekeler does. But yeah, that Ekeler is dangerous. We are going to have to be on point. I'm not worried so much about our defensive line and our linebackers. I think they'll be able to handle him. It's the outside guys, the cornerbacks, because they do a lot of stuff to the outside with their running backs. And our guys are going to have to be able to tackle it. Now, I don't think they're going to have a problem.
Yeah.
They ain't going to be able to screw up. They screw up, he's gone.
Yeah. So the Chargers average 151.7 rushing yards a game.
Holy crap.
I know. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, they run it. They don't care. It seems like they got 2 modes. They run it or they chunk it down the field.
I know.
And that's what brings us to the next weapon is Keenan Allen. Yes, man. He's going to be a test for our secondary.
I am not concerned about him. Because, look at how Carlton Davis handled Michael Thomas.
Yeah. Well, Michael Thomas is different. Keenan Allen, I mean, he's not a small guy, but he's a jump up, pirouette type catching, very finesse guy. Michael Thomas is a very strong guy. He'll fight you for the ball. Keenan Allen is just going to out jump you. Mm-hmm. And he makes some great catches, and Sherbert has no problem whatsoever throwing him the ball, man. I mean, it's like even if he's covered by two guys, Sherbert will chunk the ball down to him. So we've got to be very careful with that. Those are the two weapons I'm worried about the most with them is Ekeler and Keenan Allen. Now, Hunter, what's his name? Hunter
Henry.
Hunter Henry. I ain't worried about him. I mean, he'll make some catches, but
yeah.
Other than that, they don't have it. They got Mike Williams. Did you say Mike Williams was hurt?
Yeah.
Is he out?
Nobody hasn't practiced all week.
Okay.
So tomorrow we'll find out if he's out.
Okay. Now they
haven't said.
He catches some bombs too. He stretches the field.
Well, and Scott Smith noted that they don't really have and this is a quote, particularly worrisome second receiver option if Mike Williams is out.
Yeah, right. Other than that.
So they're number 2. And Hunter Henry, he gets a lot of receptions. So they're saying, he says they throw a lot of passes to Austin Ekeler and Hunter Henry. They each have 16 catches on the season.
Eckler's only got 16?
Yeah.
Figured it'd be more than that. But yeah, I mean, they'll run Ekeler right up the middle 15 times.
Yeah. He's tough.
He's tough. Yeah, he's going to be a handful.
He's Ekeler is second in receiving yards behind Kamara.
Ah, see, there you go.
Yeah.
But Eckler's got that bulldog ability too, whereas Kamara, he's more of a finesse guy. Ekeler will run you over.
And he's not even a big guy.
Nah, he's kind of just seems
solid.
Yeah.
He's kind of built like Antoine Winfield. I think kind of that same stature.
Yeah.
Like smaller.
Yeah.
But solid. So then we have their defense who gave the Chiefs a time.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was their pass rush is really good.
Mm-hmm. And they gave Carolina a hard time too. Carolina won because of turnovers.
Yeah, that was an ugly game. And this is why like division games I feel like are more indicative of what a team is because they play their best against their division opponents, I feel like. Against the Panthers, it was just an ugly game. It was an ugly showing by the Chargers. Like, they had really ugly fumbles. Sherbert threw an interception.
I got you saying it.
I don't know what his real name is.
Herbert.
Herbert. So the Scott Smith says the defense has given up the 4th fewest points in the NFL.
That's they played the Chiefs, guys.
Chiefs.
Right.
Yeah.
Who'd they play week 1? Chargers.
Oh God.
We don't know.
I can't remember.
Another thing I'm worried about, we have had an extra point blocked and a punt blocked, right, this year?
I don't remember.
Okay. The Chargers, they blocked a field goal against the Chiefs, and they blocked an extra point against Carolina. So it's going to be our relatively weak special teams unit going against their relatively strong special teams unit. So
probably looking at some kind of block, huh?
Yeah, it's probably going to be some kind of block in here. Golston's got to get on his stuff, man. He's not blocking anything. And Ryan Smith coming around the edge. He really hasn't done much.
Yeah,
this year.
Special teams wise.
Special teams wise. Yeah.
MIA.
Yep. The defense, the Chargers defense, they run a standard 4-3 defense. From what I can tell, they didn't really change it up a whole lot,
but they're very physical.
They're very disciplined and physical. Yeah.
Good. They're decent tacklers. Like they're all ball hawks. Like
right. Yeah. They group
gather
tackle
at the ball.
Mm-hmm.
So if there's a tackle, there's probably 3 or 4 in on it.
Yes. All right.
All right.
So what do you have for prediction?
Okay. All right. I don't think the score is going to be that high.
Hey, did we go over our predictions last week?
No. Let me see if I can pull them up.
Well, I think we did.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's go over. All right. What do you think today? Or for the Chargers?
What do I think?
Uh-huh.
Oh, man. I'm going to say 28-24.
Ooh. That's a good score. I don't think it's going to be that high. I'm going to say 23-19. And are you saying Bucks or Chargers?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Bucks. Man. This is a Buccaneers podcast.
I know.
Why would I pick the Chargers?
I know.
Yeah, I think we're going to get up on them, and then they'll do a comeback. And the fourth quarters are going to be real tight. So
I think if we can force the offense to make mistakes,
right? That's
what Carolina did. I mean, they had 3 fumbles.
We're going to throw looks at him he's probably sitting in the film room this week, going, "What the hell are these guys doing? Well, how am I supposed to read that?"
Yeah.
I'm seriously, but he's got this tendency. Sherbert's really made of ice because he's Sherbert. He stands there,
but he's soft.
It's like blitzes don't affect him. If a guy's coming at him, it don't matter.
Yeah.
He's gonna
and he'll chunk it too.
And he will chunk
and
it.
He runs. He's still got that kind of youthfulness to him because he'll run and knowing that he's gonna take a shot.
Yeah.
And he runs anyway.
Yeah.
It's like, they kind of age out of that after 2 or 3 years.
We saw that one. He ran straight into these 2 guys coming, and they like hit him smack in the face. And he went. We were like, oh yeah, he ain't gonna do that too many more times. Yeah. But he runs kind of goofy. He's not the fastest in the world. He kind of reminds me of James Winston a little bit, and he'll make some mistakes when you flush him out of the pocket. Mm-hmm. So. But he doesn't play scared. Not at all.
No. And he's decent. I mean, with the Chiefs, I was impressed with him.
I was very impressed.
Considering the circumstances and the fact that he's a rookie.
Yeah. He's not out there throwing ugly passes or
making
a bunch of stupid decisions. And he's got a lot of confidence. I'll say that about him.
Yeah.
All right, so we both think the Buccaneers are going to win.
We do.
Oh, did you notice? Look at tickets are going for $350 a piece.
Wow.
In the cheap seats.
The nosebleeds.
The nosebleeds. Down at the good seats, they're $1,200 a piece.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, these people are making a killing out of this. What? And that's from Ticketmaster. I mean, this is an official resale place.
Dang.
I'm like, come on, Bucks, man.
Let us in.
Dude, yeah. Something ain't right about that.
It's just because there's there's limited seats. So.
Well, we're going to a game this year. We haven't decided which one we're going to go to. Probably Green Bay. Isn't that a Thursday night game?
No, we only have one Thursday night, right?
Maybe it's a Sunday night game. Anyhow, we're still deciding.
I want to go to the New Orleans game early November.
I want to get out there and just beat up on New Orleans.
I do too.
Put me on the field, coach.
Put me in.
Oh, I hate that team. All right. Well, guys, we're going to try to do a podcast. Maybe we're going to be traveling back on Monday, so we might do one in the car on the way back. We shall see. If we do an instant podcast, it'll be on our cell phones or whatever. So it won't be the best recordings in the world, but you'll get our drunk thoughts after the game. And
you're welcome.
Yeah. Hopefully the Buccaneers are going to come out of this one victorious and still at the top of the NFC South. If you get a chance, share this video, this podcast with somebody. Put it out there to the peeps love the Buccaneers. Facebook. I was going to say news groups, but people don't do news groups anymore.
What is a news group?
I know. See, I'm old school internet. Bulletin boards and whatnot. Smoke signals.
We had bulletin boards in my classroom.
Yeah, not the cork ones.
With the push pins?
Nope. But if you get a chance, like us, thumbs up us, all that good stuff. But the most important thing is share us, get the word out, let people know about this awesomeness you've discovered and found. Don't hoard it. Don't keep it to yourself, guys.
Don't do that.
Yeah, don't do that, man. We are a sharing fan base. So be nice and share. All right, that's going to wrap it up for us. Till next time.
Go Bucks.